Have you ever seen those wanted posters in old westerns? A grainy picture, a big reward, and the words wanted, dead or alive. Well, that concept got a major upgrade in the 20th century. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most famous lists in the world, the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives. How does someone land on this infamous list? What happens after they're caught? And who are some of the most notorious individuals to ever make the cut? Stick around as we uncover the secrets behind this high-stakes manhunt. It all started back in 1949. A journalist asked the FBI director, J. Edgar Hoover, for the names and descriptions of the toughest guys the Bureau was after. The story was a massive hit with the public, and it sparked an idea. On March 14, 1950, the FBI officially launched the 10 Most Wanted Fugitives program. The goal was simple, but brilliant. Use the power of the public eyes and ears of everyday citizens to help track down and capture dangerous criminals who had managed to evade justice. And let me tell you, it worked. The program was an instant success, and it's been running continuously ever since. So, what does it take to get your face on one of these posters? It's not just about committing a serious crime. First, the person must have a long history of committing serious crimes or be considered a particularly dangerous menace to society. Think murderers, terrorists, or leaders of major criminal organizations. Second, the FBI must believe that the nationwide publicity from the list can actually help in catching them. If the fugitive is known to be hiding out in a specific, isolated community where no one reads the news, the list might not be the most effective tool. There needs to be a real chance that a citizen will spot them at a grocery store, a gas station, or just walking down the street. The process is actually quite formal. When a spot opens up on the list, usually because a fugitive has been captured, killed, or the charges have been dropped, FBI field offices all over the country can nominate a candidate. A special team at FBI headquarters in Washington, D.C., along with the Criminal Investigative Division and Office of Public Affairs, reviews all the nominations. They look at the fugitive's criminal record, the danger they pose, and whether making them a top tenor will actually help the investigation. Then, the director of the FBI makes the final call. Once a fugitive is on the list, their face is everywhere. Their poster is sent to media outlets, displayed in government buildings, and shared all over the internet and social media. And there's almost always a big incentive, a reward. The FBI offers a minimum of $100,000 for information leading directly to the arrest of any of the 10 fugitives. In some high-profile cases, that reward can be much higher. We're talking millions of dollars. This combination of publicity and financial reward turns the entire country into a network of potential informants. Over the years, more than 530 fugitives have been on the list, and the program has an incredible success rate. Over 93% of them have been located. What is even more amazing is that nearly a third of those were found, thanks to a tip from an ordinary citizen who saw a poster, a news report, or an episode of a true crime show like America's Most Wanted. It really shows the power of community and public vigilance. Let's talk about some of the most famous or infamous names to ever grace the list. One of the very first was Willie Sutton, a notorious bank robber. When asked why he robbed banks, he supposedly gave the classic reply, because that's where the money is. He was a master of disguise and escaped from prison multiple times. But his luck ran out in 1952 when a sharp-eyed citizen recognized him on the New York City subway. Then there was James Earl Ray, the man who assassinated Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in 1968. He fled the country, sparking a massive international manhunt. After being placed on the most wanted list, he was captured just 2 months later at London's Heathrow Airport, trying to fly to Brussels with a fake Canadian passport. His capture was a direct result of the global alert that the top 10 list helped generate. And of course, we have to mention Ted Bundy. Before he was known as one of the most terrifying serial killers in American history, he was a fugitive. He escaped from custody twice and was placed on the list in 1978. His time as a top tenor was short. He was caught just a few days later in Florida after a police officer ran the plates of a suspicious-looking Volkswagen. That traffic stop ultimately brought his horrific crime spree to an end. The list also reflects the changing nature of crime. In the 50s and 60s, it was dominated by bank robbers and car thieves. By the 70s and 80s, you started seeing more organized crime figures and political radicals. After the attacks of September 11, 2001, the list took a dramatic turn towards international terrorists. For example, Osama bin Laden was added to the list in 1999 for his role in the bombings of U.S. embassies in Africa. He became the 456th person on the list and, for a long time, held the #1 spot. The reward for his capture reached an unprecedented $25 million. He stayed on that list for more than a decade until he was located and killed in Pakistan in 2011. His inclusion marked a new era for the program, showcasing its role in global counterterrorism efforts. So what happens when a top tenner is finally caught? The process is called apprehension. The fugitive is removed from the list, and a new one is usually announced within a few days. The person who provided the crucial tip gets their reward, and the justice process can finally move forward. The capture of a top 10 fugitive is a major event for the FBI and often makes national headlines, reinforcing the program's effectiveness and reminding the public that no one is beyond reach. Not everyone on the list is a household name, though. Right now, if you check the FBI's website, you'll see individuals wanted for a range of heinous crimes. These are people who have managed to disappear, sometimes for years, leaving a trail of victims behind them. They might be your neighbor, your co-worker, or the person you just passed on the street. That's the core idea behind the program. These dangerous individuals are hiding in plain sight, and it just takes one person to notice something is off and make that call. Interestingly, only a handful of women have ever made the list, just over 10 in its entire history. One of the most notable was Angela Davis, a political activist and philosopher who was placed on the list in 1970. In connection with the courtroom shootout, she was captured 2 months later and was ultimately acquitted of all charges. Her case was highly controversial and highlighted the political tensions of the era. More recently, Ruya Ignatova, the so-called cryptic queen, was added in 2022. She is wanted for allegedly defrauding investors of billions of dollars through a massive cryptocurrency scam. She remains at large, a modern-day fugitive in the digital age. The FBI's 10 most wanted list is more than just a collection of mugshots. It's a dynamic, ever-evolving tool that has stood the test of time. It's a unique partnership between law enforcement and the public, a testament to the idea that keeping our communities safe is a shared responsibility. From Depression-era bank robbers to 21st century cyber criminals and terrorists, the list tells a story about the history of crime in America and the relentless pursuit of justice. It's a powerful reminder that while criminals can run, the collective memory and vigilance of an entire nation makes it incredibly hard for them to hide. So the next time you see one of those wanted posters, whether it's online or in a post office, take a second to look. You never know whose face you might recognize. It is that simple act of paying attention that has helped close the book on hundreds of the country as most dangerous criminals. Thanks for watching. If you found this interesting, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives, and let us know in the comments which case you find the most fascinating. See you next time.